So, hello everyone. My name is Cyrano Adlawan. I work in commercial real estate. I help companies with their office leases and properties. With these UCLA construction management courses, I wanted to get a better understanding of how buildings are built, not just office but also multifamily. I've heard a lot through my previous courses of multifamily podium structures and wanted to get a better understanding of the building technology of this product type. The project, the project that I will be focusing in on is a development project that's been completed. This is a picture of it here. It is called Circa. I think it was opened just recently, just in the last, let's say 3 months, 3 to 6 months. It's across the street from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Um, what I will be focusing in on is how the podium structure is basically, um, you've got you've got a parking structure uh, at the ground floor, and then on top of that you have the actual building itself. In this instance, there are two 35-story apartment multifamily um, uh, units. So I wanted to see how this, from my understanding, it's the big question for me was how do these structures handle a seismic, an earthquake event? So I wanted to dig into that. Let me show you some other pictures of this project. Pretty much the same. As you could see here, the parking structure and the two twin towers. The project was developed by Hankey Investments and Jameson Investments. Jameson is actually the largest developer in LA. They were also previously the largest office building owner in Los Angeles until about 10 years ago. When I think they're still maybe the third largest office building owner in LA. But as of right now, they're actually also one the largest permit what's the right word? They deal with they're the organization that gets the most permits annually from the city of LA to develop projects, primarily multifamily. A few of their projects have been conversions of older, dated office buildings, and they vacated those and converted it. Circa is actually their first ground up development from scratch. Basically, it was prior to this. Most of you know that lot was just a parking lot, and they built this from scratch. This is another picture of it. Let's see here. So let's see here. Lend-Lease was a contractor. The architect was Harley Ellis DeVroe. Contractor was Lend-Lease. The structural engineer was Kerry Kopinski and Company in Seattle, and the concrete people were Largo Concrete locally. There's more pictures of the building. On the top of the parking lot podium, there's actually swimming pools and tons of Class A amenities there. So getting back to my project, I wanted to see how this structure and structures that you could see it all around downtown LA. These podium structures, how they actually deal with an earthquake event. It didn't seem to me like how can you put buildings on top of a parking garage essentially. So the first item that I had to deal with was the parking structure. It was my understanding from Podium that the parking was above grade. So, but what I found out in this particular instance was that there's two levels of below grade parking, and that so it actually is two floors of below grade parking. It's the bottom portion is matte foundation, and they poured four separate instances of matte foundation. There's some more of the work, the earthwork that they've done. Is you might see from this, but you can definitely see there's actually concrete steel support that's going up. And what I found out was this was actually from the matte foundation. They're actually building shear walls that will connect the below grade parking all the way through the six levels of above grade parking into the 36 stories of multifamily housing. So the shear wall actually acts as the primary ways to make this earthquake stable. Here's some more pictures of the earthwork. Four foundations of the matte foundation. And this, if you could see it here, you could start to see the shear wall supports these black towers that are coming from the ground. That will stabilize the structure. There you go. The slab work for the parking garage. All these pictures are in my PowerPoint deck. So this is the basically the garage is completed here, and they are now starting to work on the two towers. You can see here that this is a pretty interesting design where they actually embed the portion of the tower into the middle of the parking structure. So that was an interesting design feature that I noticed here. The other key aspect of the seismic work is the moment, what they call